American Dream Makers. It is Dina Krogadal. I am your American Dream Makers host today, and it is a beautiful day here in Arizona. And I'm living the dream, guys. So if you are here watching live, please go ahead and share this out. We'd love for you to share this out because each of our American Dream Makers guests have something very valuable to contribute, and you never know who is on the other side that really needed to hear this message. And so, to help small business, the best way you can do is share out the information. And we have a very special guest today. Nick Ogilvie is a recognized leader, and he's a disruptor in the artificial turf industry. Now, he has been a guest here on American Dream Makers before, back last year. And so we are so excited to have him back on here. And he is absolutely known for his innovative approaches to fiber construction of the artificial turf and the cooling technologies that he has. And, without further ado, I'm just going to bring Nick on here because we've got a lot to chat and talk about. And listen, Nick Ogilvie is definitely an American dream maker. Not only is he living the American dream, but he's helping others to achieve it. With his business, with the knowledge that he has, and with him just leading by example. So I'm going to bring him back here to the stage. Welcome again, Nick. How are you today?
Fantastic, Zena. Thanks for having me on again. This is awesome.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you on here, Nick. It's been a little over a year since we had you on here, and a lot has definitely occurred. There's so much that can happen in 1 year. It's amazing, don't you think?
100%. 100%.
And I don't know about you, but I'm sitting here thinking, where did 2024 go? Because here we are approaching towards the end of the year. Where did it go, Nick?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I'm the same way. It's amazing how, like I said, how fast, right? Like right now, Anessa, my wife, she's getting together all the stuff for Thanksgiving and already, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's a lot to be thankful for, Nick. Since we're a week prior to Thanksgiving, let's start out with that. What are you most thankful for?
Wow. It'd probably take the whole hour long to do, what I'm thankful for, to be honest with you. I think that this year's taught me a lot with all the stuff that I've went through. I would say, I'm thankful for family, for friends, and God. If you have God in your life, all things are possible. And I'm just so thankful.
Yeah, I agree. If you have God, anything is possible. Absolutely, miracles upon miracles in your life, especially this last year. And we'll have to have you on for that as another discussion topic, because I think that is an absolute miracle for sure. Nick, so tell us about yourself. Just give us kind of the synopsis of how you got into the artificial turf business.
Sure. So, it started almost 20 years ago, and I got laid off from the BNSF Railroad, and I had to figure out a way to make some money. Luckily, I had some money saved up in a savings account, but I knew that would run dry very, very quick. So, back in over 20 years ago, they had Smart Money magazine, and on those magazines in the back, they had franchises that you could buy. Things, and so the things up and coming in the next 30 years was artificial turf and solar. So I didn't really want to go back to college, learn everything about there was the solar, electrical engineering, all that, yada yada yada. So what I did was I found out where they were getting a turf made, and this manufacturer would not sell turf to me until I was actually knew how to install it, which was good on them because they want their product to be out there installed correctly, which I'm 100% believer in. So they set me up with a guy out in California, and his name's Steve Miller, great guy. He taught me how to lay artificial turf, and I paid my way out there. I paid him to work and paid him to learn. And so I came back to Clovis, New Mexico, eastern New Mexico, and I went to work. But the thing is I didn't want to use up all of my savings. And so I wanted to go get a loan from a bank, and all the banks in the community were like, no, this is not going to work. It's horrible. Fast forward to now, and It's definitely working.
It's definitely working. And good for you to not have let those, comments of, hey, it's not going to work, keep you down.
Right.
So, what was it that made you just push through it? Because a lot of people would have just been discouraged hearing that.
Yeah, I think what it was I I'm a big dreamer. I and I get that from I think I get that from both of my granddads who were both entrepreneurs, and I saw what there was out there. Um, and so that's what really made me want to keep on plugging along. I know that this the artificial turf was going to be such a big deal because water, the drought, it's coming, and quote me here on this show: water is the next oil, 100%. And so I want to be a leader in the process of helping people with the drought.
Yeah, that's great. It's great that you had that vision planted in your heart and you just kept going, no matter what. What an inspiration. Now, you weren't really able to get that loan, is that correct?
Right? No, I had to. Man, it was so the railroad had called me back, and I worked 6 years doing the railroad and the artificial turf, and the railroad funded my hobby. At that time, it was a hobby, right? It wasn't really a job, but I could see, in the future that it was going to be bright. And I had won a bid in Key Biscayne, Florida, for 60,000 square feet of rooftops for turf. So I got the call one day while I was on the train, and they said, "Hey, you won the bid." So I was like, "Man, that's fantastic." I went in and saw what's called the train master, and I told him, "Hey, Dylan, I need to move my vacation for these dates because now I'm going to go work, and I'm going to work on my vacation. Then I'm going to come back to the railroad and work again and keep doing this." But while I was there, I saw Ferraris, Bentleys, Rolls Royces coming in and out of this place where I was turfing. And then each place was like $8 million for the penthouse. And this one lady had bought all four of them to make one ginormous penthouse. And so I thought, Florida, I can do this. People do want the finer things in life, and they're willing to pay as long as you do a really good job. And so it was that point there that I said, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. And I didn't. And so what I did is I call it the donut, 95, 75, and 4 in Florida. It all connects together. And so I traveled that, and I would stay at a hotel, and then that night, or after I'd get there to the hotel, I'd make a list. Here's the dog pet boarding facilities. Here's the other hotels. Here's the multifamilies that could use artificial turf. And I went to them door by door by door. And that's how I got started. And I turned my dream and my hobby into the real thing. And I tell you, I'm grateful and thankful that I did that and just took that leap. Sometimes it's scary leaving $100,000 a year job, benefits, out the wazoo, health, right, and all that. And I just did it, and I don't regret it. So
Yeah. That's awesome. I was going to say that's a huge leap of faith because that a lot of people wouldn't be able to do. In fact, I'm willing to bet that some of your friends thought you were crazy to leave a secure job and start something new like that. And then and like you've indicated, it takes time to build. So it's not like tomorrow you had a paycheck or next week you were going to have a paycheck.
yeah,
It took time to actually get income rolling in. You probably had more going out than coming in for quite some time. So
100%.
yeah, so I mean that is right there. We talk about the American dream and we see, the abundance and we see the successes and those things, but I think some people will sit there and say, "You know what? The opportunity has passed me by because it didn't fall into my lap." But what I think some people don't realize is that you actually have to put in the work and take the risk like you did, Nick. Um,
100%. And that's what's so crazy is how many people don't put in the work, or they do and they quit right before they could have got their big break.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's great to be around people like you, Nick, because it's inspiring when we see, because what we see now is Nick successful at 20-year mark, right? But I know I did not know you at the beginning of it all. And so for some, when they meet you today, they're like, oh, it came so easy. You're lucky. You're lucky, Nick.
Yeah, yeah. There's no luck here. And let me tell you, I have made mistakes, and I have been through the ringer. And I think Zena, that's why I'm so passionate about helping people in all aspects of business, is because I've been there. It's it's the roller coaster, right? You got money coming in, money going out, and you're like, I'm rich one day, I'm poor the next. Rich one day, poor the next. I mean, and if an entrepreneur doesn't ever tell you that, then they're lying, because that is the facts. That is the facts. It is a roller coaster of emotions, roller coaster of your bank accounts, but you just got to keep on trucking.
Yeah. And I wanted to say hello to Marlena Hollis, who just joined us right now. And she says, hey,
Hey,
Marlena. Thanks for being here. Marlena, she is an entrepreneur, but she's also a ministry. She's got her Marlena Hollis Ministries that she has been doing. And I will tell you that watching her, she's an inspiration, because it's really the same thing. I know she's had the struggles of, the ups and downs of it all, trying to get a ministry going and launch her business at the same time. And she's been a business owner as well. So Marlena, she's a great lady, and she's somebody to pay attention to, because she's going to start to really, I think, get going here pretty soon, and really start to impact a lot of people's lives, because she's just been anointed and appointed. So Nick, with that, I want to, we're sitting here, we're talking about, how you got to where you're at. But part of the success and part of the grind too, not only were you knocking on doors in the beginning, but now we're at, fast forward, 20 years later now, marketing has changed.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Marlena says, thank you. Definitely some struggle, rode the bus and drove it. But Jesus, yes.
man, yeah.
That is for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, so tell us, about the changes of how you've had to really almost, I guess, well, that innovative part that you've had to really shift with the times, because marketing has changed and how you put yourself out there is different, because door knocking is not that it's outdated, but it doesn't occur as much, and you can't reach as many people with door knocking
Yeah,
in the same amount of time.
yeah, 100%. So, what I do with my businesses is I do a SWOT analysis. You've heard me say this time and time again, I believe, and it's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I do them probably more than I should, but usually the bank account can tell you here's when you need to do a SWOT analysis. But what I do this, and then I use what I find, and I then that's how I fine tune my marketing. And what I found out, so let's just go into the different marketing that you can do. You can do mailers, door knocking, smile and dial, the whole, AI, right? The Facebook, the social media, whatever. Every industry is going to be different. It's going to be, and that's what you really have to learn about your industry. So a lot of things, like right now, is people are relying in my industry. I'm just going to kind of give my industry on this. With the artificial turf, people are relying on, well, I post this Facebook ad, so I'm really hoping to get these leads turning and burning. And what happens is you don't realize this, but a person's got to spend $5,000 to $10,000 a month just in paid ads to really turn and burn and get some leads, to get some traction. A lot of small businesses don't have that. They just don't. So what I found out to do is being consistent with your marketing. Being, I post at least once a day, if not more. I use, some different programs that I can set, and I can literally, like, say for Lux Blades, for instance, I can post my whole entire business for the whole month in about 30 minutes for all my social media.
Tell us that secret. We
Yeah.
want to.
So I have a program that I use, and it's, you can find these tools on therealnico.com, my toolbox, and this one would be under GHL. And so I go to the marketing section, and I'll link all my social medias together. And then I can add them all and hit click once and schedule. I can schedule out the whole entire month with this deal. And you can create forms in there. It just all sorts of different stuff, which is really, really cool. And so that's how I do that. And then I've got recently uh all these different tools that I'm talking about today. They're going crazy. If you're not doing AI, you're losing out. So all these different like captions, like I preach on all the time. The captions app, I don't believe I have that on the Real Nico. I don't have an affiliate for that. I don't even think they do affiliate marketing for that. But the captions app is amazing because it does the SEO for you. It does your hashtags, it does your keywords, and it uses AI, and you can do an AI twin. Like, I have several of my AI twins, and I even had my wife do one, and we can go back and forth on skits that they do, make it funny, interacting, and so it maps out my whole entire month in seconds on that app. And so that way, it looks like I'm on social media 24/7 when I'm really not. I've only spent 30 minutes, and it's all done.
Yeah, I saw that video of you and your wife going back and forth with that AI. That was really creative. And did you do the script or did AI do the script for you?
It does a script for me, and
Wow.
it does all the scripts for all the whole calendar. And you can pre-listen to it all, because it'll map out. It knows the times that people are most active on social media. It knows the days, and so that's what it puts on there. And it's amazing because you can see on my TikTok that I'm averaging at least around 700 views every video, which is consistent. It's great. I have it pinned on my TikTok that 135,000 views
Wow.
from something created on AI, and it was
Wow.
created on this captions app. So it's huge. The captions app is where it's at. It's I believe it's what, $25 a month, Zena?
Yeah, for the Max Pro, which is seems to be well worth it because that's when you're talking about most businesses have to spend $5,000 to $10,000 in ad spend
Yeah,
to the numbers, but this is $25 a month
yeah,
and saves you time. So wow.
yeah. It's very, very impactful. So that's probably a good game changer for me, is using captions. And then I even do press releases. So a lot of these press releases that I do, it's crazy how much traction that gets. So that gets you, your press releases really get you, not a it's more B2B, business to business. And I tell you, it's really good. It does a lot. And it's funny because people really do think that, these news organizations are coming to me for a story, and they're like, how did you get Las Vegas, Nevada to run an article on you? Well, I did EIM Press Wire, and that's what I use. Now, a press, someone to run your press, you're looking about $2,500 a month. And that's not cheap either. And so I've basically taken everything that's super uber expensive and confined it into the realnico.com. And that way people can pick and choose what they want to do and how they want to do it. And it's on the cheap, but it has great success.
Yeah, and that EIN press wire, Marlena, this is something that I think would really help you out too as you are, getting that ministry going and all the events that you've got going. That EIN press wire, Nick, for basically, is it 1 to 2 articles a month, and you're spending about what, 1,000 for the
It's
year?
yeah. So I do. I think the $600 plan, and you get 5 press releases or something like that. I mean, that's cheap,
Mhm.
and you can schedule them out where throughout the year. But they also have packages. If you spend say $1,000, you get way more. Double that or whatever. It's just. But I definitely think that if you do one every quarter, at least every quarter, that's great, and it just gets everybody more a content engaging, and so that's huge.
Yes,
Yeah.
Marlene asked you to add it to the comments. So it's
And
EIN.
she can go to the my toolbox on the Real Net Go if she wants to, and
Okay,
it'd have absolutely, Marlena. It'd have everything on there too. So,
okay.
but yeah, EIM press wire, and that seems to be the cheapest out there, and probably not the cheapest, but as far as effectiveness and getting it out there.
Right, right. It's yeah, definitely effective, and I think for the you get more bang for your buck with it because
Yeah,
because you can put your article in it and press basically send it. It does it for you, uh,
yeah,
which is great.
yep,
So, but yeah, it's a great thing, and I honestly need to utilize that even more myself. That is something that for sure I think we got to add into our marketing strategy.
yeah,
This is great, Nick, because these are things that a lot of people don't know, and as a small business, I think the amount of businesses that end up folding because they just can't keep up. The reality is that you could be the best at what you do, but if you don't let the world know that you're the best at what you do, people aren't going to hire you. If they don't see you, if you're not in front of them, they don't
yep,
know that you're there. And let's face it, we can only rely on our friends, our sphere of influence for so long. We have to go beyond that. And yeah, technology today is incredible that we can do that so easily. Nick,
yep.
what other secrets do you have for us?
So here's something that it's actually pretty crazy, but so I tested this out in my industry. It's not going to be the same for every industry, I'm sure, but so everybody was relying on the ads being pushed out and stuff like that. So we had made a list, and the Go High level, you can do create your CRM and everything. So we created a whole list of opportunities. Basically, how I started, right? Going and looking at all the hotels in the area, all the dog boarding facilities. So we created a list, opportunities list in Houston, Texas. Opened up a new branch in Houston 6 months ago. And we started going down that list and showing up to these people, like the pool builders, for instance. We showed up and they're like, wow, yeah, we're not here just sending an email. We're here, take them cookies, take them whatever. Hey, we're here. We want to talk to you about some artificial turf. We love to be a partner with you. And bam, it worked. And so what I'm finding out is that the old school tactics are coming back. People want that interaction. And it's very, very interesting. So we started going to all these places and close them one after another, one after another, one after another. And we've got at least three jobs a week going on right now. And that's incredible because right now the turf industry is slow. But for us in Houston, it's rocking and rolling. And it's because of the old school tactics. You know, uh, when I was first starting a business, you get the envelope from National Pen, and it had the pen with your name on it. You're like, oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, that's a great idea. But you buy them and that's it, whatever. All these old school tactics are going to come back. The smile and dial and all of that, I'm honestly seeing a more uptick.
Hmm.
And whenever you get an email, just write back. Don't have it preloaded with the AI in there to say sorry that we're not here available right now, but we'll get to you within 24 hours. Send an email back and say, hey, even if it was 5 hours, I just saw your email, and that's what I do. And I found out that that's actually working more effectively. So, yeah.
When they know that you're a real person on the other end, because
Yep.
I don't know about you, Nick, but now that when people reach out, I have that doubt that it's even a real person on the other line. Like this is a bot.
Oh yeah. 100%. I think I get like 3 or 4 a day on how they can rebuild my website. Let me
Mhm.
show you the website that I rebuilt. I'm like, you're using a program. You didn't physically go to my website and say this, that. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yes, for sure. And so I think you're right. People are wanting that interaction again, and it's an interesting place to be. And I think after 2020 of being isolated for
Yeah.
so long, um, we didn't realize how important it really was to have interaction. I mean, a lot of people say I could just live, in the desert or in the woods by myself and be happy because I never saw another person again. But then when it really happened that we had to be isolated in our box, our homes, and we couldn't
Yep.
really go out and interact, that really messed with our emotional, our spiritual, our physical, even
Yeah.
health, because we really were designed to have that interaction, and um, there's nothing like really having that one-on-one. Now, and the nice thing is that the facade fog is lifting. Yes, yes, for sure. And it is really nice to know that there is a person on the other side, and not only that, but this person cares about the problem that I'm having, the problem that I
Yeah.
need solving. So that's great, Nick, that you're seeing an uptick with that, taking that time to do that personal reply.
Yeah, and it's great for AI because it's the customer service aspect of it. The customer's getting, taken care of, yada, yada, whatever. But what about the customer experience? See, that's the whole new level. The customer experience is where it's going to be at. I think customer service is easy to do now because of AI. You have it. It looks like that Nick Ogilvie really sent you an email and said, thanks for purchasing my lawn. When that's not the fact. I'm going to send you, I'm going to actually tell you, thank you for purchasing this. If you could leave me a review, I would greatly appreciate it. Just going above and beyond. And I think that's the key, right? Is going above and beyond and actually caring for your clients.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And relearning people skills, because that's the other thing I've observed since COVID,
Yes,
is that people have forgotten their people skills.
100%. I feel bad for the probably uh maybe 25 and younger crowd because they're going to be hurting if they don't get out there and they think social media is where it's at. And it is. You got to, like I said, you got to stay consistent. But the people skills, you're absolutely right, Zena. The people skills is where you're going to have to interact with these people and be authentic and real.
Mhm. Absolutely. And there's nothing that replaces that. I mean, we can the only way you can get better at people skills is to get out there and interact with people,
Yeah.
is, is the bottom line. We can't really just sit and in our cave. I mean, I know I was guilty for a time when I first started real estate. I wasn't out there networking nearly as much as I should have been in the beginning. And then, because I'm very pragmatic and I'm very task oriented. So I have all these things that I have to get done. And so I would get to the point like, I don't have time to go out and socialize. I don't have time to go interact with people. That was the mentality. Like, I got this list that I have to get done. And then I realized like, you know what? I probably should make time for the networking. I probably should make time to go meet people, even though, my spirit felt uneasy to leave the
Sure.
task undone, like, oh my gosh, I still didn't get that part done. And once I started showing up to, interact with people, it was a game changer,
It
you
is
know?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You know, and that I think the networking part aspect of it, Zena, you hit right on it. I mean, you've got to network. And it goes back to knowing your industry, knowing your niche, what group is going to be the best for networking and why. I don't want to go to a network group full of artificial turf people. I want to go to a network group where people are like, I never thought about artificial turf, but yeah, okay, because that's how you really grow. You don't want to, it's kind of like what the masterminds and stuff that we do, Zena, right? Like that we're a part of. It's a group of eclectic people that you would never think that would get together in a group,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh, okay. And what I like about the networking is you may think you know it all and you've done this and done that, but that other person that's over here sitting in there telling, "Oh, have you tried this? No, what is that?" And you
Mhm.
learn so much from networking.
Mhm.
So that's what I really really like.
Absolutely. It's that exactly what it is. It's the masterminding. It's the sharing of information. It's the lifting each other up. And I tell you what, if you as a small business owner have never gone out and network or haven't done it that much, I do want to encourage you, get into rooms. And like Nick said, don't even get into rooms of the same colleagues. Get into rooms that might make you a little uncomfortable. Start signing up and going beyond even your local places and start meeting people outside of your industry, and it becomes a whole new world because there's ideas that are exchanged and perspectives that are exchanged that are very valuable. And I tell you, once Chris and I decided to get out of our comfort zone, and Marlene and I met through Tim's story. We went to Master the
Okay.
Stage. Yes, and that was an event that, the old me would not have signed up for. First of all, it was an investment, to do, not only investment of money, but investment of time,
Yeah.
because we had to go out to California for it. But not knowing anybody who was going, I didn't know anyone that was going to this, but we took a leap of faith and did it. And I'll tell you what, meeting Marlena and the other ladies and people in that group was just phenomenal, because we would have never met had we not taken that step of faith, and we wouldn't have exchanged the ideas and encourage each other to grow in aspects that we wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah.
And same thing with you, Nick. I mean, yes, when we, show up to things, I mean, you and I met, in some masterminding retreats and stuff. And it was incredible to meet people who were in so many different industries.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, from getting furniture made, right, to authors, to people that fly planes, whatever, NFL athletes. It's crazy.
Mhm.
But it's great because yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So find out, one, who your local networking groups are.
Yeah.
Get out there and do it. Two, also go beyond, I say, your local groups. Get outside. Start traveling to other places. Get into rooms that there are people. And I'll tell you what, they're not as intimidating as you think. Because when you don't do this in the beginning, you think, oh, these people who are so successful, I won't have anything in common. How am I really going to connect? And the reality is, once you get into the room, people are so willing to help you. And we've met billionaires, right, Nick? We've
Yeah.
met billionaires who are so helpful, and they will take the time to really give you pointers and encourage you and support you. And I've been surprised. And we've met people who love Jesus.
Yeah.
My idea before all this, I was thinking people who are that successful probably don't have Jesus first in their lives. Like, that's what I used to think. And granted, there are some that money is, more important than the Lord, but I would say that that's not that's not the majority. The people that I have met, that they have a love for Jesus, but they want to steward over what Jesus has given them, and which is the talents and the gifts and the resources that the Lord has placed on their lives. And they just want to steward over it and do the best so that they can have a bigger impact to help others along
Oh
the way.
yeah.
What I found. Have same for you?
Oh yeah, same for me. And I will tell you that I have a mentor. His name is John Traver, and you've heard it first on this on American Dream Makers. I've never told anyone this. So John Traver, go look him up. Fantastic businessman. Uh, just a great guy to be around. And if I called him right now, he would answer the phone. But he is one of the most godliest people I've ever met in my life. And I think that I strive to be him like a businessman, but also as a Christian. I mean, he's that powerful. He is probably, yeah, Zena, if you were in a room, this guy is just uber powerful. He felt when he walks in the room, you just know, and it's fantastic to be around. He's a family man. He's godly, everything. I mean, people need to strive to be more like that guy. It's amazing. So go look him up. I think he's on LinkedIn. Add him as a friend. He's amazing guy.
How do you spell his last name?
Traver.
Okay.
And
All right.
so he owns a few different companies. Traver Connect, BDC. He's in the auto industry. He's in a lot of different businesses, but that's one that you can find him under.
That's great.
So yeah, he's he's awesome. So
And you bring up another good point. Having mentors is ultra important. That's probably, I would say, in many ways, that's probably should be number one on your marketing strategy
yeah, yeah.
is
How
having a
do
great.
I get a mentor and be like, how do I attain that?
Yeah.
And so let's kind of go into that, Zena, because we do these masterminds. It's amazing how many fake people there are.
Yes.
And that I want everybody to do your due diligence when you go to these masterminds. I want you to look these people up. I want you to, if you have questions, ask questions, message them on Facebook, message them on email. If they don't get back to you, they're out just to get your money. There's a lot of I call them, they sell snake oil. Um, so just be really aware of that. I've fallen for them. That's some of the things in my business that I've done that like, oh crap, why did I do that? And well, they're just there to get your money. That's all they are to do, and they don't follow through on things. So really do your due diligence and make sure you find the right one for you. And then on the networking, if you start your local networking, you're going to outgrow it. And I want people to know that that's okay to outgrow it. You're not saying you're better than them, by no means. You're just going on to the next level. There's a networking company here that's in all the states. I'm not gonna name its name. Great program, fantastic program, but you have that entry level. That's it, and you meet once a week, and it's raw, raw, raw. It's great, and it is. It's fantastic. But then you need that next level, and there's really not one, right? So Zena, maybe we create one called the boardroom.
There you
Everybody
go.
gets together, and it's just yeah, just know that it's okay to grow.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's okay to grow for sure. And there's so many different kinds of masterminds out there. And I'm so glad you touched on that it is so important to vet the mentors because you're right. There's a lot of people out there who are not delivering what they say they're going to, and they're charging a lot of money for their, to be a part of it. And there's not much given out, or they bully you while you're in it, because that's not fun either. They give it to you to not keep upgrading to their next package or whatever, and that's not a place that I want to be, nor do I want to be mentored by somebody who puts guilt on someone who's not ready
Yeah.
to take on the bigger packages of whatever it is that person's offering. So for sure, don't be in a room that there's bullies that that really put that high pressure. You really should be in rooms where they really are out there for your best interest, that they're really looking to help you elevate and not put that pressure. They're just there to serve you, is really what
Yeah.
it comes down to. you know?
Yes, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. Well, Nick, is there any other tips on the marketing that you would like to share? You shared some really amazing ones
Yeah,
today.
I mean, the only other thing that's really helped me a lot is having that book, right? The one that I written for the artificial turf. I
Mhm.
do suggest that writing a book for your niche and using that as your business card and giving it to people. So, I mean, I could go on forever on how to do that, but I won't. But yeah, I would say that would be a good one. And at the end of the day, just treating people right, because that's going to build your referral clientele. I mean, I have referral clientele, like affiliate programs set up for my businesses, that if you refer so and so, you get this or that. But I'll be honest with you, 9 out of 10 don't even, they're not even on as a link. They just refer me because they know, hey, if I pick up the cell phone and I call Nick, he's going to answer, or he's going to have a solution to my problem within 24 hours. And we're all human. We all make mistakes, and I'm going to own up to my mistakes. If something doesn't happen, I'm like, ugh, why did the guys do this? This is going to cost me so much money, but I go and do it. And that's and treat your employees. There's a fine line between friends and family. There is. You don't want them to be, you don't want them to be your friend, because you still, they have to know that you do rank higher than them, and they do have to listen to you. But man, I don't know. I love my employees, and I know that without them, I'm nothing. And I mean, I've got, like, over in Florida, I got Jose and his guys. Oh my gosh, it's just, I mean, they've been with me for years. And I mean, we went to some jobs and went to his dad's house in Atlanta, and we cooked up fajitas, the whole 9 yards. And we went. I mean, it's just great. It's amazing. And then here in Texas, I've got great crews as well. So it's just, I'm blessed with the great crews, and it's really about just treating people right
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And Nick, so I want to kind of go back a bit. So when you first started, you were a one-man show, right?
Yeah, yeah. I had a 98 short wide that it was incredible. So I'd fill it up with rock, shovel wheelbarrow, and that's what I did by myself for years.
Mhm.
And then I knew, if I'm not out there selling and I'm out here working, then I'm not making any money, because once this is done, then I got to go sell to get another job. And then, so I had to take that leap and say, okay, I've got to hire a crew, but this is what's expected of them. Now, did I train the crews how I want the jobs done? Yes, I did. And I can honestly say that if I call up a customer and say, yeah, I'm going to do this job, I'm going to do it this way, that even if I'm not in Florida, like today, I'm not in Florida, but if I sold a job right now today in Florida, Jose would go and do that job identically how I told it, because he knows my jobs are done a specific way and why. Like, for instance, I had a job that was in Sarasota, and the hurricane came, what, like 3 4 weeks ago, actually.
Mhm.
And this yard was underwater because they got hit twice, underwater over 30 inches, and the turf held up, and it was great. Now his neighbors filled up, it was wadded up, because they didn't use certain techniques that I use, because I it costs a lot more the way that I do it. And so people say, well, why are you more expensive? This kind of goes to this, right? Why are you more expensive? Well, because I do it the right way. And we're called Lux blades, not cheap blades. And so, it's all, yes, we are more expensive, but the job's going to be done right. And I think that's another reason why the book, right? The book thing helps, because they see it, they're like, wow, he wrote a book, he's giving it to me. Or I can go to Amazon and buy the book on installing and understanding artificial turf. That's crazy. So we are more expensive, but there's a reason why. And so, tell your clients why you're more expensive. Why do you think, well, you're going to get this, this, and this. And other companies are going to promise the same thing, but they will not deliver. And so that's where a lot of people have to just say, why this company's doing it for $5 a square foot and I'm $9 a square foot. And you get in that negative headspace, right? Like I'm sure like in real estate, well, they're doing it for a percentage less or this or that. I don't understand how they can do that and make a living. Well, they're not. They're just getting by. So you just got to say, well, I offer this services. I'm so sorry. And the referrals just start coming in. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great for you to share that, because one, like you said, you got to a point where you knew a one-man show was only going to get you so far. You weren't going to be able to really get out there and do more until you hired somebody to help you with those things. So I think that's a great tidbit to give to the small business owners, because it's hard to get to the point where you're willing, one, to relinquish the control over letting someone else do that, because let's face it, we have the tendency to think no one can do it the way we can, but really if we train them they can. Right?
Yeah,
and
100%.
and then you're thinking, and then I think that leap two is like, oh my gosh, can I afford to hire somebody else? Well, like you said, but you incorporate that into your bids,
Yes.
so that you can pay your crew, and then you're going to get more jobs. And then, and you're right. And then you're also training not only yourself, but your crew, that why LuxBlade is going to cost more than somebody else's product, so they're all well versed as to when people ask, well, this is why, because we do it this way. And
Yep.
so I love that you say know what product you're basically giving out, selling. What is your product, and why it's priced the way it's priced. And I love that you said treat your employees well, because the fact that you have employees that have stayed with you for so long speaks volumes as to how you are as a leader. Because in your industry, I don't think the retention is real high from what
No.
I understand.
No, it's not. Well, you have a people that promise these other people the world. And I had a salesman one time. He left me twice because he's like, man, they're gonna make me part owner of the company after I sell this much and this and that. Okay, have fun. You're okay. Yeah, go. He came back to me both times, and he was like, "You're right, Nick. They didn't follow through. They didn't, and that's their thing, right? Follow through what you say. Just follow through, and that speaks volumes too. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, hi, Cynthia. Thanks for being here, Cynthia. Man, Cynthia, you are so inspiring too. You've got such a wonderful spirit about you, always smiling,
yeah,
and you do look fabulous after 40. Wink, wink.
right.
So, yeah, Nick, I'm really enjoying this discussion, and I really do believe this is going to help other people, in their small business. So again, if you're watching this, whether it's live or you watch this on the replay, share this out and go to therealnicko.com. He's got some great resources for you.
Yeah.
And connect with Nick. He's a friendly guy, and as you can hear, he answers emails. He'll answer his messenger. I mean, you can find Nick Ogilvie just about. You're also on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, YouTube, and can I say something real quick, Zena? Because this you just reminded me. So I had this guy, and I got a text from him today from Southern California, and he watched one of my YouTube videos last week or the week before. Messaged me, and he got a hold of my calendar. We booked a call, and it's so funny. He said, "Man, when I called him, he goes, this is this your cell phone? Yeah. This is you? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Because I've tried so many different times to talk to some other people in the industry, and they'll say, no, everything's proprietary, or they just don't answer at all. And so I was like, well, what are you needing? Well, I'm thinking about starting a artificial turf maintenance company. Great. What do you want to know? So I kind of gave him and I said, well, let me give you the phone number to this guy. And it's the owner of a company that has some stuff. And he goes, really? That's a cell phone? I was like, yeah, it's a cell phone number. So he calls, and of course the guy answers because he's a lot like me. And now he's buying product from him. And he just texted me this morning and said, hey, I got all the product. I'm doing some, test runs on my friends and family. I'm so excited. Do you have any other suggestions? And after we get off this Zoom or this show, I'm going to send him some Canva stuff, right, with marketing material, and just send it to him for free because
Wow.
I want him to succeed. He has a family. I want him to succeed. So I want everybody to succeed, whether if they're in my industry or another industry. I don't care. Let's just, there's one word that solves everything in the world, and that's love.
Mhm. Yes.
That's love. It's super simple, but no one just sits down and thinks about it. So, I try to love everyone, and I want to help everyone if I can. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good, Nick. Yes, the love is also a universal language. So you can maybe not even speak the same language, but people understand what love looks like and what love feels like. And so when you are ultimately able to deliver love, that Jesus has given us, that it really shows and it shines and people know that you care. And yeah, and even if they can't use your services, they're going to remember Nick and
They
how
are.
he made me feel and that he made me feel loved and he cared about me. So I'm going to refer him when I hear that somebody needs artificial turf. Hey, you need to call Nick. Like
Yep.
he'll answer the phone and it's
Yep.
really him, you know. Oh, I
Oh,
love
that's my oldest daughter.
Oh, well, thanks for being here and supporting your dad. Um, Oh, and you are the most, she's verifying, most caring, loving person ever encountered. I would have to concur that Nick has a very big heart for sure. And I definitely want to have you back again in 2025. And
Let's
we
do it.
want to talk about the miracle, that
Yes.
has happened in 2024 for you, because I think that's, I think it's just one of those things that will really encourage other people who are going through
Oh,
difficult
yeah.
situations and
Oh, yeah. 100%.
yeah, and how you were able to get through it and all of that, and how God is so good. Love,
Yes.
sweet love. It's the only thing that there's too little of. Oh, are you singing a song right now?
Right, Cynthia.
Awesome, Cynthia. Yeah, I thank you so much, Nick, for taking the time to being here on American Dream Makers. You are absolutely living the American dream and you've gone beyond it and you're helping others to do it. So please continue to spread the love. Go to therealnicko.com, subscribe to his YouTube, and watch some of these incredible videos that he's generating through the AI technology using the
Yeah.
Captions app. You are going to be amazed when you start kind of toying around with it. And I
Yeah.
know AI is kind of that love hate thing, that we
It is.
have mixed emotions about, right?
Yep. But if you
And
don't use it, you're gonna be way behind in
yeah,
business.
well, and it's a tool. It's a tool, and
Yeah.
yes, in the wrong hands, it can be really bad. And we do have to be careful as future goes on. And again, it comes back to we're going to have to really verify and vet everything.
Yep.
Even though this may be an AI generated video, is the person and the messaging behind it genuine? But if we don't leverage it for the good, then not only are you going to be missing on your I guess your business, but you could be missing out on really impacting other people's lives in general with the message that God has given you for that assignment that He's placed on your heart to deliver. And because the more we can reach, the more people we can reach. Um, I think the better. I mean, we've got billions and billions of people in the world, and there's some powerful, powerful messages out there that really help people to stay encouraged and to stay hopeful and to know that, okay, if Nick can do this, I can do this,
Yep.
you know,
100%. 100%.
Because again, kind of that myth too is that we think, oh, they're only successful because they had it easy. They were handed this. Their parent handed the business to them or whatever. They don't realize that actually, as an American, the opportunities are here, and you truly can go from zero to success. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, though, Nick, as Nick has demonstrated.
No, for my instance, it took me 6 years. 6 years and that's people tell me it's not going to work for 6 years every day.
Yeah. So you got to keep grinding. And like Nick said, don't give up, because too many give up right before it's about to happen. And especially if it's an assignment that has been placed on your heart, that vision has been there. There's a reason why God put it there. It's supposed to happen. So
Yep.
don't give up. Don't grow weary in doing good, for in due season you're going to reap a harvest that it's going to be plentiful and a blessing, not only for you but for others. So Nick, God bless you, my friend, my brother, and we will say goodbye for now. So I'm gonna basically, I guess, end this with my video, but don't go away, Nick. I'll be back in just a few minutes with you. Okay.
All right, bye guys.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. Wasn't that a great time here with Nick? And he obviously is full of information, wisdom, and so willing to share it. So thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed to American Dreammakers or Zena Krogadal on YouTube, or has followed me on Facebook and Instagram and also on TikTok, please do so. It will be so helpful to get the message out. And you guys go out there and live the American dream and go help others to achieve it as well. So God bless you, and we will see you the next time.